I'm here today to talk to you why I will never teach a player to use the Western forehand grip. There are four main reasons. Number one, puts a lot of extra pressure on the wrist. Number two, it's a short-term solution to get topspin that hinders the player's long-term development. Number three, when you play against someone who has a Western forehand, there's a lot of basic strategies that really pick on their weaknesses. And the fourth one is you can mitigate those weaknesses, but you have to be an excellent mover on the court. The first big reason, Western forehand grip puts a lot of extra pressure on the wrist. The way you hold the racket and you make contact with the ball is putting a lot of extra strain on that wrist. And the wrist is a big deal in tennis because if the wrist goes, your wrist on your right hand goes, you can't really practice. You can do some left-handed forehands and stuff, but it's really going to hinder your long-term development. It's also, I've seen players with that Western forehand grip, I've seen them having to be out for months, and I've even heard of players having to get surgery. I truly believe it just puts so much extra pressure on the wrist. The second big thing is it's a short-term solution to get topspin on the ball, but it hinders a player's long-term development. I know a lot of coaches, when players are younger, that 13, 14 and underage, the kid's not getting enough topspin, the ball's going long. They decide to switch to that Western forehand grip because, it gets a little more brush on the ball to generate that topspin, but it's not teaching a player a proper swing path where they have to get the racket under the ball and come over to develop that topspin. And that's really going to affect their long-term development later on when they're 15, 16, 17, and 18. Because with that Western forehand grip, it's really difficult to get that plow through the ball and get that ball driving through the court. The third big reason is there's a lot of weaknesses that players with the Western forehand have to face, right? Western forehand grip, it's really tough to slice that ball. So if I'm playing someone with a Western forehand grip, I'm throwing a lot of slices under their forehand. Because it's really tough for them to get under that ball and generate topspin and get it over the net in an effective way. The second thing is, with players with that grip, they love being on that outside, going that inside-out forehand. So I love to just keep the ball over on the deuce side. Don't give them that strength that they're really looking for. The fourth thing is, yes, you can kind of mitigate those weaknesses, but you have to be an excellent mover on the court. That's really difficult because not a lot of players can move well or know the proper footwork. So it just doesn't make sense for most players. You can get away with it, but like I said, it's really difficult. Now there are some exceptions. There's a few players, if I get them later in their career, like when they're juniors or seniors in high school and they're really like that and they've been hitting with that Western forehand grip that whole time, I'm probably not going to change it. Talk with the family, talk with the player, tell them what I believe that they should be in that semi-Western or Eastern forehand grip because it's a lot more beneficial. But ultimately, as an athlete center coach, you and your player and the family kind of all have to work together, because if the coach is into it and the player's not, the change isn't going to work out anyways. I'm also doing another video talking about a little bit of the differences in the grips, the continental, Eastern, semi-Western, and Western, so stay tuned for that.